Okay, so here we have a problem where we're asked to calculate the cash collections budget. So they give us the following sales revenue. They tell us that the company's sales are 20% cash. So of this sales revenue, 20% of it customers will pay for in cash. 80% customers charge to their credit accounts. And their collection history indicates that credit sales are collected 30% in the month of sale, 60% the month after, 6% 2 months after, and 4% are never collected. Okay, so let's go ahead and write in what we know here. So let's say let's fill this in. 20% of the sales are in cash. 30% are in the same month of the credit sales. 60% are collected the month after, and 6% are collected 2 months after. Okay, so the way I like to work this is very systematically. So if we know in January that 20% of our sales are in cash, if we take 15,500 times 20%, we should get 3,100. So this will be my answer, 3,100. So if 20% of my sales are in cash, that means that 80% of my sales must be credit. So that is 15,500 times 80%. And the answer is 12,400. Okay, so now that I know 12,400 of my sales in January were credit, I can use the figure out how much was received in the month of sales. So multiply that now times 30%. 12,400 times 30% is 3,720. Okay, now 60% of that 12,400 is going to be collected in the month after sale. So if we take 12,400 now times 60%, we should get $7,440. And then we can do the same thing with 2 months after sale. 6% of sales are collected 2 months after sale. So 12,400 times 6% is $744. So you can see what you end up with. You kind of get this stair-stepping effect where since you're collecting every month a certain amount, we can go ahead and fill that in. So let's go back and we'll do February now. Let me get rid of my messiness here. So February, 20% of sales are going to be 12,000 times 20% is $2,400. I'll just write that in another color. Keep it easy for you. Okay, so if 12,000 or 2,400 is cash sales, then 80% will be credit sales. 80% of $12,000 is $9,600. So 30% of that will be collected in the month of sale. 9,600 times 30% means $2,880 are collected in the month of sale. Then 9,600 times 60%, and that means $5,760 are collected in the subsequent month. Let's go ahead and do March. I'll change colors again. So March we'll do in green times 20%. 14,000 times 20% is $2,800. Now I get to collect 14,000 times 80% for credit sales. 14,000 times 80%. So $1,200 times 30% I collect in the month of sale. So that's $3,360. So we're filling her up. Right now we're going to have to go back and figure out using December and November information, the missing parts of our grid. For right now, we can go ahead and fill this in. So our quarterly sales, if we add our quarterly cash sales, these numbers across, that comes in at 8,300. We can do the same thing for the credit sales collected in the month of sale. That's 99.60. So we're still missing January and February numbers. So let's go back. Let's go to December. Pick a new color. So we'll do orange for December. So December times 80%. And 10,500 times 80% is 8,400. And we don't have to worry about collected in the month of sale because those would be recorded in December. What we're interested right now is the 60% that's collected in the month after. So 8,400 times 0.6 or 60% is $5,040. And then we can also do the 8,400 times the 6%, which is $504. Now we just need to do November. November was 16,500. Again, you'll have to multiply that times 80% to get the amount of credit sales. 16,500 times 0.8 is $13,200. I'm going to write that over here. And then we just need to get the 6% that would be collected 2 months after sale. 13,200 times 0.06 is $792, and that will fill in our chart. Now we just need to add everything across. Sorry, here. If we add all these across, we'll get 18,240. Add the next line, 2,040. Total cash collections, if we add them all going down, we should get 38,540. Now we can also double check that number by adding all these numbers down. 12,652, 2,400 plus 2,880 plus 7,440 plus 504 is 13,224. And same here, 12,664. And there we go. We've got our answer. You can double check the total by adding across horizontally as well.